everyone. It is the beginning of January, so it is time to play my TBR game for the first time for this year. So I'll explain the game to you guys a little bit. This is Boxwood the Librarian, as you can see. And in this game, you are moving your little bunny character around the board. There are chutes and there are ladders. And each square corresponds to a color. Now the color is a prompt card. So I have the prompt cards here. There are 5 different colors. The blue cards are the pellet cards, and those mainly cover genre and sometimes time period, just depending on the type of book. Then the brown ones are Mr. Bund cards. Those cover author and publishing. The green cards are Binky cards. So a Binky card is game cards. So it'll involve, choosing the book will involve some kind of fun game. Yellow is the Clover cards, which are cover and title prompts. And pink is the Bunventure cards. So those are related to plot, character, and setting. So you roll a die and move around the board. I roll 5 times each month. And if I go up a ladder, I get to pick a reward. And my rewards are these little carrots. And the rewards have something to do with either the game or something for me, just in general. So if I go up a ladder, I pick a reward. And if I go down a chute, I have to do an extra roll and pick another book. I'll put a link in the corner to the big description that I did of the game. And otherwise, I will get a start on it. Now, each month, if I finish my TBR from the previous month, I get to pick a carrot reward card. But unfortunately, I came really close this month, but I didn't quite make it. So no carrot for me. So let's get started then with roll number 1. All right, let's see what we get. We got a 5. All right, so here's where Eeyore ended last month. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are on a blue card, which is our pellet cards. Okay, so blue is our pellet cards. Which means, let me see if that focuses, which means that they are mainly genre related. So we're going to just mix these all up real good. Oops, I won't pick that card. And then I will cut the deck. And I'm going to pull the top card. So I'll show it to you first. I have to, choose a dark academia novel. All right. I will see what I have and make a decision. Okay, so for book number 1, a dark academia novel, I decided to take out from the library The Cloisters by Katie Hayes. So this book follows a young woman who goes to New York to work at the Met Museum of Art and ends up in their Gothic garden area, and it has a lot of mystery and creepy elements. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. So let's go on to roll number 2. A 1. Okay, well let's see where a 1 puts us. Okay, we're going to move Boxwood 1 or Eeyore 1, and we are on a brown now, which is our Mr. Bund card. So that'll be publisher and author. So here we have our brown cards. They are our Mr. Bund cards. And I'm going to shuffle them up. Should have put more Binky cards on the thing because I like the Binky card games. But I put an equal number. Okay, so we're going to cut the deck and pick this card. And it is, let you guys see it first. Choose an ebook. Okay, for an ebook. Well, I do have one out from the library right now that I could try and finish. It's a big book, but it is very interesting. Let me think, and I'll get back to you. After some soul searching, aka Libby searching, I have decided on Think of a Number by John Verdon. It is the first book in a mystery thriller series about a retired police detective a homicide detective who gets called in on a case, and then that starts things off. And it's something I've been wanting to read for a long time, and I was able to get the ebook at the library. So let's move on to number 3. Okay. Another 1. Okay, just when I was complaining about not hitting enough green squares, I am on a binky square. Yay! So let's see what game we get to play. So that means we have now landed on our binky cards. So these are all a variety of different games to allow me to pick my books. So we will see what game I'm going to play this time. We will cut the deck and pick this one. So I'll show it to you guys first. So I have to read the first 10 pages of 3 books and choose one based on enjoyment or intrigue. Okay, well, I will do that when I am done playing, and I will let you know what I pick. So let's just move right on then to roll number 4. As you can see, Raven is being very helpful, aren't you, buddy? Okay, here we go. Are you going to look up at the camera now? Okay, roll number 4. 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are on another binky square. Yay! All right, so we are back to the binky cards. So let's shuffle them up again. And see what we get this time. Cut the deck and take the top card with a flourish. And we got this one. Choose a book out of the unread shelf jar. Oh man, that means old Mr. Snidely's coming to play. So this is all the books on my shelf that I haven't read yet. The blue ones are nonfiction. Everything else is fiction with no real color scheme anymore because I've messed it up. Okay, let's see. What is Snidely going to give me? Oh, we got a blue, so we're going nonfiction. Thanks, Snidely. Start the year off right. Essentials of English? Okay, well, let me go and look at that and see what the heck it is, because if it's just a reference book, I'm going to pick something else. All right, here is Essentials of English, a practical handbook covering all the rules of English grammar and writing style. Looking at this book, it is definitely a handbook and not something to just read cover to cover. So I'm going to call that this is an interesting handbook. It's going to go back on my shelf, and we're going to pick a different one. Okay, Snidely, be nicer to me. Nicer. Lots nicer. How about a fiction instead of nonfiction? Problem is I own so many nonfiction. Okay. Okay, well, I'll take you. Okay, what is this? Oh, yes! The Lost Man by Jane Harper. I have been wanting to read this book ever since I bought it. I will go get it and I will be right back. So we have The Lost Man by Jane Harper. And if any of you have watched my best of video for the year, for last year, you will know that Jane Harper became one of my favorite authors last year. So this is the one of hers that I haven't read yet, and I'm really looking forward to it. This follows a pair of brothers in Australia, and they discover their third brother has died. and it looks like it was suspicious circumstances, but it's a very isolated area, so chances are that it's somebody they know or one of them. So that's the general premise for it. Really looking forward to that one. All right, we are on to our final roll, and then I have to go and read 10 pages of 3 different books. So final roll, number 5. Okay, let's see what we get for our last roll. A 6. Let's see where that puts us. Okay, let's move Eeyore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That takes me to the yellow square, which is my Clover cards, which are cover and title. So these are our beautiful yellow Clover cards. And so, yeah, like I said, these are title and cover. Title and cover prompts. Okay, so let's shuffle them up good. Cut the deck. And we will pick this one. It says, choose a book with a title that begins with T, B, or R. So I will just take a minute and figure out what I'm going to read. So I selected Ramage by Dudley Pope. This is an older book. It was written in, let's see, when was this one written? It was a long time ago. 1965. But this is the first in a series about a naval sea captain in the age of sail. He's a British officer, and the series follows him throughout his life and moving up to different sizes of ships. And there's a lot of strategy involved in them. And I just really, really love the characters and the action. And I've been wanting to reread this series. There's 16 books in it, I believe. I've been wanting to reread this series forever. So I decided I would pick this one and start off my year with something nice and light. So that means that so far my TBR has The Cloisters by Katie Hayes, Think of a Number by John Verdon, The Lost Man by Jane Harper, Ramage by Dudley Pope, not The Essentials of English, and then I have to go and read the first 10 pages of 3 different books and decide which of those ones I want to read. So I will do that next, and I will take you along and just show you which books I'm going to read and which one I pick. And that will be my TBR for the month. So I will insert that little bit of footage here. Before I sign off, I need to let you guys know about a couple of other books that I'm going to be reading this month. I'm going to take part in the Buzzword Challenge set up by Kayla from Books and Lala. I'll put her link down in the description. This year she has 2 challenges for us. One is based on the title of the book with a keyword, a buzzword, and the other one is based on the cover of the book. The January prompt is Truth or Lies. So I chose that I'm going to read Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. I don't own it, but I am going to be picking it up in the city here this week. And it is a thriller about a woman who believes that she may have killed her best friend when she was younger because she wakes up with blood all over her. And this story takes place years later when she comes home to the town that she was from. And it just sounded like a really, really interesting story. So I wanted to read that one for the lie prompt. Then the cover prompt is a pattern. So I chose to read this one here, which I've been wanting to read for a long time, and that is The Forest of Stolen Girls by June Her. Last year I read her book, The Red Palace, and I really loved it. It actually made my best books of the year. So this one is one of her earlier books, and it takes place in Joseon in Korea again, but in the 1400s. And it follows a girl named Hwani, who she and her younger sister had gone missing in this forest when they were younger and then were found. But there was a gruesome crime scene nearby. And then her father, this happens later on, and her father disappears on the same island. So she ends up going looking for him and trying to figure out what actually happened back then. So that one I've been really, really wanting to read. The other challenge that I'm taking part in is the BTS Book Club Challenge. Again, I did that one last year as well. And they have monthly prompts that have to do with various fun things. So the prompt for January is a book published in the last 5 years. So that was a fairly easy one. And because I always have quite a large TBR, I decided to go with The Forest of Stolen Girls. This one was published in 2021. So it is definitely within the last 5 years. So I'm doubling up on that one to help save myself a little bit of extra reading. Then I also have a new goal for myself for this year, and you'll hear more about it when I do my goal video. But this one is I want to read more short story collections. So I went through my house and I found all the short story collections that I own, or as many as I could find anyway, and I put them all in this jar. So what I'm going to do is on the first of the month, I'm going to pick a short story collection out of the jar. And then I'm going to attempt to read it over the course of that month. Some of them are quite large, like the big anthologies of literature and stuff. So some of them are quite large, and I won't be able to read them in 1 month, probably, along with all of my other books. So if that's the case, I'll just carry that one over the next month and not draw another one. But I'm going to draw my first one this time. So I have them all in here, as you can see. I'm going to just reach around in there, stir them up really good. Some of them, most of them are older. I am hoping to also pick up some newer anthologies, more modern anthologies this year as well, instead of just reading classics and stuff, but we'll see what happens there. So I'm going to pick one. Here we go. Oops. And this one is... Mystery Cats number 3. So this is a short story collection it's a mystery short stories where all the stories involve cats in some way or another. I did read one last year that was one was called Cat Crimes for the Holidays, and there were some good ones in there and some that I thought weren't so good. So we will see what Mystery Cats number 3 is like. So that's the short story collection that I'm going to read. I'll just tell you which books I chose to read the first 10 pages of for my game. And that is one of the books that I've really been wanting to read for a long time is the classic Don Quixote. Now this is a beast of a book, but I figured I'd read the first 10 pages just to see what I was getting myself into. Chances are I'm probably not going to pick that one because I also decided to read the first 10 pages of the two of the books that I got for Christmas. So one of them is Voices of the Dead. This is the fourth Raven and Fisher mystery by Ambrose Parry. And as you know, last year I fell in love with this series and I read the first 3. So I got that one for Christmas. So I'm going to read the first 10 pages and see about that one. And then I also got for Christmas The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. And I've been wanting to check this series out because I love Norse mythology. And this is a fantasy world based in Norse mythology. So, and then again, this is another beast of a book, but I did get this one for Christmas as well. So I'm going to read the first 10 pages, and then from there I'll decide which of those 3 books I'm going to read, and I will let you know. So I will come back once I've given that a little read and let you know which one I'm picking. Okay, everyone, I'm just popping in to say that I read the first 10 pages of Voices of the Dead by Ambrose Parry. Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes, and The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. Now, it was a really tough choice between Shadow of the Gods and Voices of the Dead, because they're both books I really, really want to read. I did enjoy the little bit I read of Don Quixote, but I'm not in the mood for a classic right now. But I did decide to go with Voices of the Dead. I have a lot of books that I'm trying to read this month, and I thought this would be probably a quicker read, but I am really looking forward to reading Shadow of the Gods as well, just because the first 10 pages really gripped me. But this is the 4th book in the Ambrose Parry series, Raven and Fisher. And I'm really, really looking forward to continuing that series, seeing where it goes. Things were left in an interesting state at the end of the third book. So curious to see where it goes next. So that's what I'm going to be reading. I'll also be headed to the city tomorrow to go and pick out my special book as my reward for finishing the board in December. And I will insert a little clip of me finding that so you guys can see what I picked. And then I will try and fit that into hopefully my February reads, because if they have what I want, I'm going to be really, really excited to read it. So I will insert that and let you see if I was able to get what I wanted. That's going to be my special book. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you think I will enjoy them or not down in the comments. Leave me a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on my next video.